Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be introducing my February TBR. Also, happy Black History Month. I'm so excited for all of the books that I have for this month. I tried to get some romance books written by Black authors, but I just didn't have any on hand. I mean, I could have got some audiobooks, but Scribd doesn't have a lot of the books that I want available, so that just wasn't possible for that. So there's a really good selection. We have a lot of romance, some fantasy romance, and then some contemporary romance and anti-romance, which is only like one book, but yeah. So the first book was gifted to me by my mother, and I'm so excited to read it. I think she has the ability to pick out books for me since we like share books no matter the genre sometimes. So I think she knows what I would like to read, and when she saw this she thought of me, so she got me it, and then she brought it home and she was like, "Ooh, you might want to read this. I don't know if you would vibe with it, but you might want to read this." And that book is A Stroke of Luck by Jill Chavez, and this is a story about two lucky relationships that happened by chance. And we follow, in the first story, Amy and Matt, who met while Amy was hiking, and somehow she was like taken back by Matt, and it led to a relationship, and then we watched their relationship blossom. And then the second couple follows an ER doctor, Josh, and Grace, who becomes his son's nanny, but somehow she turns his world upside down and he grows to like her, and so we followed their relationship and watched that blossom. So it's gonna be a really interesting one. I'm kind of excited for it. The cover does really give like chill, laid back beach vibes, and it's cold here. There's some snow in New York, so I'm excited to see what this is about. I don't know if Jill Chavez has the writing that I like in romance, but we're gonna find out. Okay, the second book is something I'm very excited for. I have been waiting to read this for a while. It was on my TBR for last month, but I didn't get to it because there was so much going on last month. So I'm definitely gonna get to it now, and that is The Wicked King by Holly Black. As you know, I've read The Cruel Prince and I absolutely loved it. So I immediately have to move on to the next book in the series. So I'm excited to see where Jude and Cardan are now, especially since someone is plotting against Jude in this book. And Cardan's a big bully, so can't wait to see how original he's gonna be in this one. But I can't wait to see badass girl boss Jude kick his ass over and over again. So excited for this one. Okay, the next book is a book I'm very excited to get to, and I ended up picking it up based on recommendation, and this was recommended to me by Rick Reads, which is one of my new Bookstagram friends. Like, I have met so many cool people on Bookstagram, and I'm so excited to continue to make content and just vibe with everybody. And this book is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I have heard so many good things about Madeline Miller. A lot of the people that I watch and listen to on BookTube have said that Madeline Miller's work is to die for. We have Circe and now this. And this is a relationship between Achilles and Patroclus. And there's a lot of war, but there's a lot of romance, and it goes from like friends to lovers. A lot of friends to lovers books have let me down last year and prior to that, but I'm excited to see where this is going because Madeline Miller has so much hype and respect around their name. So we'll see where it goes. Now, this book I have read before, but it is the Patreon buddy read for this month. So I'm ready to reread it and see if my mind changes, because as I have stated before, I did read it in a very rushed and untimely way. So I want to see if my perception will change if I read it at a different time. And I think that February is the perfect time to read this, especially since it's like a month of romance, and this is an anti-romance vibe, and that is Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. And I'm so excited to reread it and see if my opinion has changed. As I said before, I did not really dislike the book that much. I did give it 3 stars and a whole lot of critiques, but hopefully when I revisit, like, maybe my opinion will be a whole lot different, because a lot of people love this, a lot of people I respect, so we'll see. The next book I have is one that I'm very excited for because it has so much hype. And I know I'm usually scared of hype, but I've realized that it's always going to be a hit or miss when it comes to hype. And recently, a lot of the books I've given into when it comes to hype has been some of my favorites. So I'm going to give into hype again. And I'm going to give into hype for Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Moniscalco. What's wrong with me? By Carrie Moniscalco. Look at that beautiful ass book cover. Like, hello. This one follows our main character Amelia and her twin sister Victoria, and Amelia misses the family dinner for once, and literally Victoria's dead. So now Amelia has to go and seek vengeance for her sister, but also figure out who the killer is. And she ends up in this demon world, and it's all kinds of crazy, and she ends up falling in love, and there's a little bit of romance, and there's just a whole lot of stuff going on, and Amelia has to navigate all of this and still get vengeance for her sister. So I'm excited to see where this is gonna go. As I said, there's a lot of hype and a lot of people love this book, so we'll see. And there's a third book coming out, so obviously there's a lot of good things about this series, so I'm excited to see what's going on. The next book has been on various TBRs prior to this one, and I did start it, but I never finished it, so I'm excited to get to it, especially since this author has become one of my all-time favorites. And this book is All's Well by Mona Wad. And as you all know, I am such a big fan of Bunny by Mona Wad. It's such a good book. It's such a good time, and it's horror perfection. It discusses a lot of meaningful topics, and apparently this book will also discuss a lot of meaningful topics. So we follow our main character Miranda, who is a college theater director. She has tried to do All's Well That Ends Well by Shakespeare before, but has failed. But now she's gonna try to redo it, and she ends up meeting these three people who will change her world, and it may get difficult at times, but she's going to push through and literally deliver. So she got injured while doing the first take of All's Well That Ends Well, but now she's going to push through her injury, and she's going to create this masterpiece that is her own. So I'm excited to see where Miranda goes. I already started it, and I'm loving the writing, I'm loving the ambiance, so I'm excited to see how it's going to end. Next up is Fiona and Jane by Chen, and as you all know, this is on my most anticipated list for the year, and I'm so excited to get into it. I literally have seen mixed messages, but it hasn't been said to be a very bad book. And basically we follow the sapphic romance between Fiona and Jane, and we see them navigate life, love, and career. One of them ends up moving to New York, and that puts a strain on their relationship, so we see how they navigate through that. And there's so many other things packed within this book, and so I'm so excited to get into it. It sounds like one of the perfect reads that I need for this year, so hopefully it's a 4-star or above, but I'm not gonna give it a 5-star prediction because I don't know if it's gonna meet the standard that I have set so high for it. So I'm not gonna put the prediction out there. I'm just gonna hope that it has a 3 or 4-star in my book. The next two books are audiobooks, and the first one is Black Girls Must Die Exhausted by Jane Allen. So basically this book follows our main character Tabitha as she navigates life, love, and all that is in between. She has everything. She has the career, she has the education, she has the romance, and she has a nice house. But then she gets a diagnosis that causes her to have a minor setback, and she learns to navigate all of the things that are happening to her, and she comes to find out something that really throws her for a loop. However, she's going to get through it. So we watch our main character Tabitha go through all of this and navigate her illness, and it sounds very sad, and I might be a little bit up and down with this book. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it, but I definitely want to give it a try. So I'm excited to see where this goes. Okay, the last book has been suggested to me by someone on Patreon, Chloe's Patreon, in like the group chat and whatever. And this book is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. And as you all know, I gave the movie 1.5 stars. I just wasn't vibing, and so it was suggested to me to read the book and see if like my opinion would change. So now I'm gonna read the book and we'll see how it goes. So basically we follow two nemesis. They both work in the same workspace and they just can't stand each other, and there's a lot going on, and they end up finding out a lot about each other and intruding in each other's spaces. There's also some fake dating at a wedding, and there is some forced proximity. So I'm excited to see if the book is gonna be a whole different alternative to the movie, but I'm not really excited to read about these characters just as much as I wasn't excited to see them on screen in live action. But we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna keep an open mind as much as I can, and I'm gonna go in and get some reading done. Okay, that is all the books that I have for you, and I'm so excited to get into all of these. My 5-star predictions are for Kingdom of the Wicked, The Song of Achilles, All's Well, and I think The Wicked King probably could be a 5-star, so I'll add that one in too. But everything else I'm kind of on the rocks, so we'll see how that goes. Oh wait, no, I also think Black Girls Must Die Exhausted is going to also be good, so I'm excited to see how that's gonna go. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I have all my social medias down below. I also have links to support POC movements and to support the COVID crisis in Vietnam and India. Again, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.
Thank God I'm black. I won't take it back. I'm proud to be black.